As individuals are released from the criminal justice system, there are many barriers and roadblocks that numerous ones face. Some of these individuals do not have the family support, do not have a mother, father, or spouse to go back to. And so when they're released from prison, they're just like being dropped off into a foreign land. When some of our offenders are released from prison, have a plan that they submit prior to being released, and that would include employment possibilities, housing possibilities. At times, these plans fall apart. The jobs don't come through, the housing doesn't come through, and even the individuals that agreed to sponsor the individual falls through. What many will do is go back to what they know, and that's sometimes of that criminal element. And that's what we want to prevent.
And what recidivism means is the rate of offenders are returning back to prison after they've been released. So that's what we have to combat, is trying to reduce recidivism so that we don't have repeat offenders constantly going back through that cycle.
My name is Carl Wilburn. I was convicted of aggravated robbery in 1992, and I spent 23 years and 5 months in the Arkansas Department of Corrections. You know, I got off in the life of crime at an early age. I used to be out committing crimes, and sometimes I come in, you know, and I just lay across the bed and say, God, you know, help me stop doing the stuff that I'm doing.
You know, our responsibility is to the communities as well as to the offenders. We have public safety on one side, but on the other side, if there's things we can do to help offenders be successful and get back on the right track, then that's what we need to do. That's got to be a priority of ours.
We're asking Arkansans to step up and not be satisfied with the status quo of individuals returning to prison at a rate of 53%. We're asking them to step up, to be a part of the solution, to walk alongside these individuals by agreeing to hire an individual that has a felony on his record, by agreeing to rent an apartment to an individual with a felony record, to agree to be a mentor to one of these guys or women that have stumbled in their life.
The reentry program can help each and every person with their short-term goals, with their long-term goals, with their education goals. Too often people are locked up in the penitentiary and forgotten about, but it doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to forget about them. They are worth it. Carl was worth it.
You know, I don't have to be ashamed anymore. I don't have to run anymore. I don't have to look over my shoulders. You know, I can wake up in the morning and be proud of my accomplishments. I spent half my life in prison, and so reentry gave me the opportunities that I wouldn't have had I just left prison and not been through a program. You know, I get up at the crack of dawn every morning. You know, I go to work and I work hard. I pay my bills. I pay my taxes. I help with my family. Reentry kind of opened up that door for me. Man, I'm just so ecstatic. Arkansas Community Correction helped me get my life back.
The recidivism problem in Arkansas can be solved, and it can be solved by people coming to the table, because we as a community can provide the assistance that's needed in order to make sure that these offenders are reacclimated back into the community slowly. And it's going to take people like you, it's going to take people like me to help out with that process. If you're willing to give these ex-offenders an opportunity to be hired and to prove themselves, it's going to work out in all of our interests, because if we just let them linger out there on the streets, it's not going to benefit any one of us. Because if we can put them to work, if we can get mentors involved, if we can have them doing something, the less likelihood it is for them to recidivate and create more crime victims and go back to prison. That's the cycle we're trying to stop.